What's going on? Just doing a quick video on a 2016 Mustang GT oil change. I just have an OEM filter, some Mobil 1 5W20, and a new drain plug. Just I happen to have one. So I'm gonna first start putting it on the lift, and we'll get it up. So before I drain it out though, I frequently check the oil, so it shouldn't be low or anything like that, but I still like to just verify that it's where it should be before we empty it out. And I did just take the car up the road real quick, just so it would warm it up a little, and the oil, you know, we'll get out all that old stuff and we'll put in the new stuff. So yeah, oil's fine. I assumed it would be, but it's just a good thing to check, so you know if you go and you're missing a bunch, you have an idea. So I'm going to close the hood back just because I don't have that much room, and we are going to go up in the air. Put it down on the locks. Always put it down on the locks. So I have extensions to bring the car a little higher, but it's a little more work and I just don't feel like doing it right now. So I'm just gonna put it up there. It's plenty enough to do an oil change. I'm gonna bring the light over here just so you guys can see a little better. Turn them just so you guys have one. The place is a mess right now because we're also building decks as we speak. And so we're going to take, I believe it's a 15. And normally I'd use a wrench, but the last time the whole reason I'm replacing the drain plug is it got a little, I don't know, I didn't like how it came out, so we're just going to swap this guy. It's not bad, it's just it got a little bit, I don't know, I'm sure it's nothing, but there we go. Pop out the drain plug. There we go. Now I'll let this drain for a while, probably more than needed to, but I just, you know, I think it's just a mental thing, honestly. You like to get as much out as you can possibly, so gonna go for a while, and then even once it's really just trickling down, I'll still just let it drain for another like 5 minutes. So, you know, we'll check back in once that's all done. So I got it down to like the trickle, so I'm gonna swap in the new drain plug now. And just tightening it up again, nothing too crazy, just a little. There we go. Alright. So I run into this every time I do the oil change. To remove the filter, you got to remove this little plate. And I'm pretty sure it's just a 7mm. And so it's just this little plate right here, and it is a 7mm. Alright, so then it dropped down, and you can see the filters right there, but Ford just, it's stupid because it's hard to see. I'm going to try to be able to show you guys. It's just stupid because if you pull it out, you're just going to spill oil everywhere. And every time I do this, I say, oh, I need to get one of those like little metal trays, but I don't do it because I've only put a few thousand miles on this car this year. So what I do, just because every time I do this, this is what I do. I'll take a piece of a box like this, and then I'll just take some saran wrap. It really doesn't even need to be this long, so make it a little shorter. We'll put saran wrap around the box, or excuse me, around the piece of cardboard. And I just fold it around it, fold it on the edges. And it does stick for the most part to itself, but I still just put a piece of Scotch tape on it. Random little corners just so it stays there. There we go. And then I'll kind of give it a little bend like this. And then we'll go back underneath and grab my oil filter guy. Go. And then so I'll take this guy and I'll just put it right underneath the filter, and then in theory all the oil will just follow down this, and we'll bring over the drain pan. And grab it from up top and you'll see the oil start coming. There it is. Go. And now a lot of, it's still going to drain for a little while, so I let it just kind of run out. We'll go take the new filter. And not all cars you can do this with, because some filters want to go like directly like this, but this car does go on a little bit of an angle, so it's good to top this off with some oil before you stick it up there. Much, I don't even fill it all the way up. I just put about halfway. It just helps on the first startup. It's basically like you're priming the filter. That's all. Just a little bit. Not necessary, but if you can do it, why not? Should be good to remove this guy. And even if we spill a little, before I do that though, one thing you always want to check so you don't double filter a car, you want to make sure, or double gasket a car, excuse me, you want to make sure the O-ring on the old filter is either still there or it can get stuck on the filter housing. So basically you usually want to verify wherever this is, because if you put two gaskets on, you're going to make a mess. So I will also take some of this oil and just go around the gasket itself. Just like that, nothing crazy. We're gonna pull this guy down, just let him sit in there, move this out of the way, and we'll put the filter back up. And nothing crazy, people, you don't need any tools to put a filter back on. I tend to make it a little tighter than probably necessary, but at the same time, I'm the one doing the work, so I know what I'm getting into, and I'm not going crazy. There we go. Now I'll just clean up all around here. The only reason I do a little more is I do tend to do a few track days, and drag strip here and there, but I just don't want to run into any stupid issues when you're really pushing the car, Now we will go back. I'll take a little brake clean, even though there really shouldn't be much in there, just it's good to keep up on it. We'll just spray a little up there, basically where the filter sits. Spray around it, spray this cover. Put our bolt back in. we're ready to, we're going to lower the car back down, and then we'll top it up with oil. All right, everything's clear out of the way. You're going to lower the car back down. Alright, so these take 8 quarts, so that's what they call for. So, and now remember though, normally if you don't prime that filter, you got to account for the filter not being filled up when you fill the oil, but it's already, you know, halfway full. So what I'll do is I'll get it at least reading on the dipstick a decent amount, start it up, and then check it from there. Let it run for a second or two.
GPS connected.
And then now in this part, when you're checking the oil, you want to let it sit for a minute or two before you just check it, because now you got the oil, you know, on the top of the motor. It's going to have to drain all the way back down to the pan in order for you to get a correct reading. Otherwise, if you were to just check it right now, you risk the potential of overfilling it. So that's all. We're just going to do one last check. And she's good. They got plenty of oil on there. So it took just about 8 quarts. And so that completes the oil change on the 16 Mustang GT. This should apply to all 15 through 17 Mustang GTs. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's it. Very simple. I know it made it a little longer than it needs to be, but just in case if somebody's not sure how to do it or what they need, what tools and stuff. So very straightforward, very easy. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, you know, drop a comment, ask a, you know, feel free to ask anything. If you guys are curious about anything done to the car or anything like that. All right, guys.